So welcome back to another video here in Pennsylvania, and to the first video in our series on the edible and medicinal plants of Pennsylvania and the surrounding areas. I have found the plant that I'm going to do for our very first video in the series. It's a plant that you should all recognize quite well. It's the common dandelion. Got some right down here though. Yeah, but everybody knows what dandelions are. Some people love them, some people hate them. But they have both edible and medicinal qualities to them. Actually quite a bit that they can do. But some people hate them. Some people spend tons of money every year to eradicate these from their yard. We'll talk more about that later. I'm going to find a place to settle down and we're going to talk about the mighty dandelion. Alright, so here we go. We got the dandelion, Taraxacum officinale. I got some right here. Yes, that's its scientific name there down below. Because dandelion, I think it refers to lion's tooth, because the leaves supposed to resemble a lion's tooth, I guess you could say, depending on how you look at them. But yeah, like I said, I think I mentioned this, but in this country here in America, we spend, I forget if it's millions or billions, I don't know if it really matters, millions or billions of dollars to remove dandelions from our yard. So not everybody does. I mean, I grew up, our yard was full of dandelions and violets and all kinds of stuff. I remember I loved when mowing season would come because you could smell like the wild onion grass after it was mowed. I love that smell. But some people don't. Some people love to have a super clean yard with no dandelions in it. In fact, years ago I did several summers of working landscaping, basically mowing. And the person I worked for, he would treat the lawns too and mow them. But if a dandelion came up in someone's yard, he would potentially get in trouble because there weren't supposed to be any dandelions there. So it's kind of ironic that we spend so much money to get rid of them, but these are one of the most edible and medicinal plants that you can find in your yard. And they have quite a wide range of both those qualities. The flowers are edible, the leaves, the roots. You can do cool things with the roots, actually. We'll talk about that in a moment. But I read a story, one guy out in California, every time he would weed his garden, like dandelions and stuff, he would save the roots, dry them, and you could sell the roots. He made $900 in one summer just by selling dandelion roots. So instead of spending money to get rid of them, he made the most of them. So let's talk about the edible qualities first. Of course, like I said, you can eat the flowers raw, just like this. You just want to make sure you don't eat any like the green stuff below. I mean, it won't kill you. It just has the stem and the green parts have like a bitter taste to them. Even the leaves, if you do eat the leaves, you want to eat them when they're young, because as they get older, they get that milky sap in them, and it tends to be very bitter. But you can boil the leaves, you can kind of cook them and boil them and eat them too, but we're just going to eat this one raw just like this. They kind of have a sweet flavor. You're eating all that nectar and stuff. Like I said, if you just don't have that green stuff on, there's like no bitterness to the flower. There you go. You can eat them. The flowers, that is. Like I said, you can eat the leaves, the young leaves in salads. You can cook them. And the roots, like I said, have an interesting quality too. We'll talk about that in a moment once I'm not chewing on dandelion anymore. Alright, I'm done chewing my dandelion flower. But the roots, if you dig up the roots in the fall, when they've kind of stored up all their starches and nutrients, you can make coffee out of the roots, like a coffee substitute. What you do is you kind of cut the roots up into smaller pieces and put them in the oven, roast them at like 200 degrees, and if you do it the right way, or if they're in there long enough, a surprising scent will fill your house. I remember when I did it the first time, I wasn't expecting this, but I put them on like a cookie tray, the roots. I cut them up into smaller pieces. I think I set the oven like 200 degrees. They were in there for several hours. I was outside doing things. I came back in and the whole house smelled like warm chocolate. It was a chocolate smell. I was not expecting that, but it was pretty cool. Then I took the small pieces and put them in my coffee grinder and grind them up into like a powder, kind of like coffee grounds, and you can use that as a coffee substitute. Is it as good as regular coffee? No. Is it better for you than regular coffee? Better, medicinally wise, healthy wise. It doesn't have caffeine either, so that's why some people will make. Well, you can buy dandelion coffee too. I did last summer. You can buy dandelion coffee mixed with another herb called chicory. So yeah, you can if you make it right, it actually smells wonderful. I wouldn't say it tastes better than regular coffee, but it's something that you can try. But there are several other things too that people make with dandelions. I know some people make something called dandelion wine. My grandmother would make dandelion soup I don't think I ever had it. I think it was too young. Even if she did offer me some, I doubt when I was younger I would have tried it. But I know she made it for my mom a number of times. And you can also make tea. I've seen people fill like a big gallon jar with dandelion flowers and water and kind of let it sit there and steep for quite a while. That's something I want to try in a future video maybe. Make some dandelion tea, some other things. Like I said earlier too, you want to be careful about some parts of the plant have a very bitter taste to them. Like even now, I was kind of licking my one finger where I'd pick the flower off. It has a very bitter taste to it from the milky sap that's in the leaves. All right, but let's talk about medicinal qualities next. There's quite a long list of medicinal qualities. I'm not going to go over everything, or else we'll be filming here for like an hour about this stuff. But we'll go over some basics for the dandelion. All right, so I have just a short list of things that it can be used for. You can see them on here. It is full of different vitamins and minerals, or if you're from England, vitamins and minerals. It's a diuretic. Yeah, in this series, you're going to learn some new words. A diuretic means it makes you pee. The different definitions on the web don't quite say it that way, but that's basically what it means. And you say, well, what's the point? What's good about making someone pee? Well, it flushes out your system. So sometimes, because your urine is the waste material in your body that your kidneys are getting rid of. So if you're wanting your body to flush out some different toxins and stuff that you have in it, a diuretic is a good way to do that. It'll make your body pee. So and in the process, get rid of some different toxins and stuff like that. The tea, we talked about making a tea earlier. It's supposed to have a very calming or uplifting mood to it to help people. And then it has just a wide range of other, you can see stomach, heart, liver, and lungs. This is good for all those things. Like I said, it's a very wide range of applications health-wise. Yeah, so instead of hating on dandelions so much, maybe try some, Try just eating a flower. It may not be the most tastiest thing, but like I said, you can make them tastier. Like some people will boil the flowers, and you can put like salt and pepper on them, and they'll taste a lot better. Maybe we'll try that, have a meal of boiled dandelion flowers. You should do that sometime. But anyway, so I've heard of people like boiling the flowers and like dipping them in pancake batter and frying them up that way. So there's different things you can try with them if you don't just want to eat a plain one. And in my opinion too, they're just fun to see. They have a very cheery appearance to them. I know that one medicinal value said, it has an uplifting mood. I think you get an uplifting mood just by seeing them. We got a honeybee on the one right there. One of the first flowers that will bloom in the spring. So that's kind of cool. So in the future, I do plan to make more videos on the dandelion, make some dandelion tea, or maybe we'll just make some boiled dandelion flowers, try them in different ways throughout the season here. But this video is just a general video on the dandelion. But a disclaimer too, as I'll say in all these videos, before you ever eat a wild edible or use medicinal plants on your own, always do your own research first. Don't just take my word or anybody else's word just at face value. Make sure you do your own research first and be 100% sure that the plant that you're using is indeed what you think it is. Okay, as in the mushroom world, they say when in doubt, throw it out when it comes to eating wild mushrooms. So the same should be done with any kind of edibles or medicinal things that you use. But that'll be it for the dandelion in this video. Like I said, we'll do more with it in later videos, but I'm gonna head out and look for some more plants. In fact, I see some right here, but I might walk a little bit further down the trail. There's a couple of plants I'm hoping to find out here today, but that'll be it for the dandelion, folks. As always, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one, wherever that may be.